Hare Ram 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Radha Govinda Das Swami Namane Namaste Prabhupada Devam Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishe Sunyavadi Gramya Jannistarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Gopal Krishna Swami Namane Prabhupadasya Sahitya Ya Prakasya Vicharyatya Prachar Krutvan Sadhu Bhavat Padate Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Pasatya Visatarine Om Ajnan Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuran Militan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utam Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavansyam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savdhutam Pariyana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhamita He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rushabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa tarubhyasya kripa sindhu jayaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasavi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Vishnupad Paramahams Parivrajkacharya Ashtotar Sri Srimad Abhay Sharanarvind Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिगोवर्धन की जाय श्री वृंदावन धाम की जाय श्री नवदीप धाम की जाय गंगा माई की जाय जमुना माई की जाय तुलसी देवी की जाय भक्ति देवी की जाय Samvita Bhakta Vrunda ki jai, all glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. All right. So
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Kumud Ben is there today?
હા ભાઈ હું
Hare
પણ
Bol.
છું.
Jai Shri Krishna.
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ.
Hare Bol. Hare Bol.
તમારા બેવ લેક્ચર સાંભળ્યા હા?
એમને બહુ સારું.
બહુ સરસ છે, બહુ સરસ. મેં YouTube પર સાંભળ્યા. Thank you.
Hare Bol.
Hari Bol.
So, okay. So, Padma Ben, you should ask Ajit Bhai also to join if he has time.
I did. He says he'll try.
Oh,
but I guess he got
maybe
tied up.
Okay. All right, no problem. Okay, as we yesterday discussed about Bhagavad Gita, so we are currently discussing the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, which are titled as what?
Karma Yoga.
Karma Yoga. Very good. All right. So we discussed some points about Karma Yoga. So who would like to define what is karma?
Karma, what we do every day.
Yes, karma is
Everything
what
we do is a karma.
Okay, and that karma, who tells you to do that karma which you are doing? Is there any guidelines?
Yes.
The Vedas.
The Vedas, yes, the Shastra. The Shastra says
yes.
that, for example, you are a woman, all right, and you have responsibility of running the household, and you have to feed children and all other duties assigned to a woman. So that is described by the Shastra. Any Gruhastha, man, has also duty to go outside home, go and work, bring money, and feed the people, members of the family, and look after them. So all that the duties are prescribed in the Shastra for all ages and all ashrams, Varna, Karma, Varna and ashram that we defined yesterday, right? So that is called karma, prescribed duty. Now, what is vikarma? Padma, when you know that?
Vikarma is the karma that we are not supposed to do against the
and who
scripture.
tells you not to do that?
In the scriptures, it says
Yes,
those
the
are
scriptures
the
prohibit them, right? And we all know in ISKCON there are 4 prohibited rules that we discussed yesterday. All right. What are those? No meat eating, first of all. All right. Ahar Suddhi. You have to purify your food intake. All right. Because 1/4 of your food makes your mind, your thoughts. All right. That's why the food should be completely pure in Sattva Gun. What are the foods in Sattva Gun, Rajo Gun, Tamo Gun? All this described in Bhagavad Gita in the last chapter. So when we will discuss that time we will know. But for now, we should know what is food in Sattva Gun or what is prescribed in Shastra that we have to follow. So that's known as no meat eating. Then what else?
No drinking.
No drinking alcohol. All right. Even tea, coffee, it's mild caffeine is acceptable, but it's good to leave all these things. All right. There are exceptions Prabhupada made for some people. They say, I cannot go without drinking tea, right? Like that. So these are mild intoxicants. But if you want to purify your existence, you should gradually leave them. So that's the number 2. Number 3, no gambling. All right. This city is famous for gambling all over the world. All right. So now, and then there is no illicit sex. These 4 things you have to observe in your life in order to do what? In order to lift your consciousness, all right, to become purified. Unless you become pure, you cannot reach Lord Krishna. All right, that is one thing. Bhagavan Krishna is apapavidya. And of the dharma, one of the legs of the dharma is purity. All right, so purity is very much required. Purity is of 2 types. What 2 types? Purity. Purity is to clean your body outside, all right, and clean your body inside. What is that inside body?
The soul.
Our Atma, our soul.
Yes, and the outside soul is mind, intelligence, and ego. These 3 things also need to purify. Then the soul can become purified. All right. So this is required in the life. So karma, vikarma. Now the most important term is called akarma. What is that? Akarma. Who knows? Aruni Ben knows what is akarma.
So akarma is where you're not bound, so neither good nor bad.
Right. So previous 2 terms like karma and vikarma both bind your soul to get another body. All right. And this akarma, even if you do work, karma still will not bind you. So how is this? Karma, all karma binds you because it produces results. So how come akarma? So what is the example of akarma?
That is, akarma is the bhakti, and with that, when you, whatever you do in Krishna's service, then all karmas are akarma. There is no result, nothing is binding us.
Yeah. On the contrary, it liberates you.
Liberates you.
Eh? You and me, we have done so many karma, good karma actually, all right? Going work, bringing money, feeding people, sometimes giving charity. All this we have done, this is karma. But all this karma has produced results. If you have done very good karma, it will produce a result by giving you a body in very higher planets. You'll enjoy a very high quality of life, just like quality of life in India and in America. There's a vast difference. Right? So similarly, this all karma produces bondage for your soul. It gives you another body, bad or good, depending upon what kind of karma, vikarma you have done. Right? But akarma is something which, for example, commonly we eat food, but offering food and then eating becomes akarma. Without offering, it's actually karma and with lot of sin. Gunjate adham kapa. So this is why you have to understand what is akarma. So akarma, when you have done akarma, what will it do? It will not only not bind you, but also dismantle the body which was produced or being produced by your karma. All right. So it's a double advantage. Everybody's clear about this?
I'm not sure. Could you explain that again? Akarma?
Yes, akarma is where you do in the service of Lord Krishna. For example, eating, right? Everybody
Yeah.
eats in the morning or any time.
Yeah.
So whatever you eat, first of all, that food should be sattvic food, fruits, grains, all these things. And then after cooking, you offer it to Lord Krishna. Right?
Yeah.
When you offer that, the karma now of eating, all right, it becomes a karma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now is that clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That food which you are eating is prasad, is mercy of Lord Krishna. Prasad means mercy. So you are eating mercy of Lord Krishna, which will not only prevent you from getting another body, but another body which you have built so far can also be dismantled. And you are becoming eligible for getting a spiritual body, right? Which is Parsad Sarir, which is full of knowledge, full of bliss, and it is eternal. It's never subject to old age, disease, or death.
So akarma, it's good to do akarma.
Yes, we must do akarma. Another name of akarma is bhakti.
Yeah.
All bhakti is actually akarma. So, right. So every activity which you and me do, we have to first of all find out that it is not vikarma. Right?
Yeah.
Because if you do vikarma, there is no antidote. Right? There is no antidote for that. Why? Because Lord Krishna does not accept that. You cannot offer a beer to Lord Krishna and say, okay, I'll put tulsi there and then. No. You cannot. He has said no. Right? So, like that. But now you had done these things before in your life, okay? And you are already have been bound. Now you surrender to Lord Krishna through a guru, and then promise the guru, I'll not do it. All right. Then even those previously created reactions, the material body will be vanquished.
Forgiven. Yeah.
So from today, you must learn one thing. What is that? That whatever karma I will do, all right, I will bring Lord Krishna along with it. I will involve Lord Krishna in that. In 9th chapter, Bhagavan Krishna says that. Harsa Ben must be knowing. Who else? Sangeeta Ben is there today? She's there. So, Bharati Ben, do you know about any slokas in Bhagavad Gita?
Not really.
Not really.
Bharati Ben and Kiranji both are coming in other satsang. So Kiranji says she's new in that one, but she's very too much interested in that one.
Very good. Both of you are in Los Angeles?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
very good. Do you go to the Hare Krishna temple sometime on?
Yes, in Placentia. Yes.
Venice Boulevard. Yeah, we go there like that. Okay, very good.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So Karma Yoga and Akarma. Karma Yoga and Akarma. So the difference between...
yeah, it will come. It will come slowly. Okay. So Akarma, as I said, is the element of bhakti. But Akarma starts with still involving karma. All right. Bhakti and karma, what is the difference between bhakti and karma? Pure bhakti is like Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. All these are pure bhakti. But you start with karma. You're doing some karma of, activity, some activity of cleaning the temple or, offering food, all these things. So slowly, karma becomes akarma and then becomes pure bhakti. So karma yoga, and bhakti yoga are ladders like that. They are not different. They are transiting from one place to another, evolving.
Yeah.
That's how it will evolve. Right? Bhakti is actually at the level of heart. Okay, your heart will melt. That is real bhakti, topmost. But it cannot melt today. All right. You have to gradually, as you progress, Lord Krishna lifts you. All right. So there are stages. What is the first stage in bhakti? Last time we mentioned that you require two things to understand Bhagavad Gita?
Shravanam,
No, first is
Shraddha.
Faith.
Shraddha, faith,
Shraddha. Oh, yeah, faith.
faith.
And
And then the second
Anasaya.
one,
Non-envious.
Anasaya.
non-envious. You should not be envious of them. These two elements are required. So adhav shraddha tata sadhu sang atha bhajan kriya. These are the three stages, initial three stages. Adhav shraddha, you have some shraddha, no, Bhagavad Gita is a good book, and I understand it's a religious book, spiritual book, and I'll get some spiritual knowledge, I'll be able to become spiritually elevated, and eventually I can get moksha even. So that's called shraddha. That shraddha, when it's shraddha, adhav shraddha tata, the next step is what?
Sadhu Sang.
Sadhu
Sadhu
sang. This is going on, this is known as sadhu sang. Why? I'm not saying I'm sadhu, but we are discussing one sadhu's teaching. Who is that sadhu?
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada Maharaj. We are discussing his Bhagavad Gita. So all spiritual knowledge is coming through Guru Parampara. And that is also the topic of today's discussion in 4th chapter. Okay. So let's go back again from karma, vikarma, akarma.
Karma.
Right. Then karma kand. We saw it something like karma kand. So who understands? Sangeeta when is there? No.
I think she's not feeling well.
Yeah, oh, she's not feeling well. Okay, no problem. Okay, so let's understand what is karma kand.
I'm here.
Oh,
I'm-
she's there. Sangeeta is there. Very good. Welcome. Yesterday you were also there, right, Sangeeta?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so karma kand is little higher than ordinary prescribed duties. So what is karma kand? Who knows?
Karma Kand is like my daughter needs to get married. I
Mhm.
go in the temple and Panditji do the puja for me for that particular person.
Right,
Ask Ganesh Deva to remove obstacles.
right. So karma kand is one of the big section of Vedic knowledge. All the Vedas, yesterday I told you there are three sections: karma kand, jnana kand, and upasana kand. Right? So karma kand is now you recognize that there are higher authorities whom I can approach and they can help me in my problems like that. So there are demigods. Demigods are mentioned who are the executive officers in this material world. There is a demigod responsible for light, sun god, for rains, for other elements. All this, why the air, all these devatas are there. So if you approach these devatas, they can help you. But they are not independent of Lord Krishna. That is one thing we should know. All right. So when you go to Karma Kand, you associate with the priests and they can ultimately slowly give you the knowledge. What is that knowledge? That these are executive officers, but there is a chief, final president or boss. And who is that? That is given in Bhagavad Gita very clearly. And what is that sloka?
Matta parataram nanyat. Kinchid asti dhananjaya.
That, oh Dhananjay, there is no power above me. I am the final power. Right? So you and me accept this one fact. What is that one fact? That Lord Krishna is the supreme power. There is nobody above him. Then you understood 75% of Bhagavad Gita. All right? Why 75%? Because now Lord Krishna will start giving you the full knowledge from inside. He says, how can I give him? By reading, then he will arrange that there will be some kind of discussion, sadhu sang, this, that. So slowly he will lift you in proportion to your surrender. All right? But the fact that you have accepted him as the supreme personality of Godhead, now he is very much active. All right? Who is next standing next to Lord Krishna?
Radha.
Radhaji. Radhaji is a person, at the same time, very powerful internal energy of Lord Krishna. In fact, there is no difference between Radhaji and Krishna. They are one. All right? But for us to understand, to start with, we say, oh, this is Bhagavan Krishna, this is Radhaji. Radha is very powerful internal, more powerful than Durga. Actually, Durga is her shadow. Chaya vyasya bhunani bibharti Durga. So that person becomes very active. As soon as you start surrendering to Lord Krishna, she becomes very active. And she starts arranging so many things for you to go to Lord Krishna, like that. So these are the spiritual mechanisms behind Bhagavad Gita's knowledge. Okay, so this brings us to Karma Kand, and beyond Karma Kand is Karma Yoga. Now, Karma Yoga is the yoga. Yoga means linking up your consciousness, your spirit soul with Lord Krishna, the supreme soul. All right. So that is called yoga. And you are using what? Your karma. By doing your karma, you are taking this step of joining with Lord Krishna. All these examples, as I've said, they are karmas which are becoming a karma, that becomes karma yoga, and then slowly transforms into bhakti yoga. So this gradation will come as we progress like that. But for now, it's good to understand what is karma yoga. The activity is used for Lord Krishna's service. That's called karma yoga. All right. Karma yoga, you have two types yesterday we said. What are those? What are those two types? There's some sound coming. You can mute, and then when you want to speak, unmute. Okay. So what are the two types? Who wants to answer? Don't know what are two types of karma yoga? One is called Sakam Karma Yoga. Another one is Niskam Karma. Niskam Karma Yoga. Sakam Karma Yoga is you are trying to render service with your activities to Lord Krishna, but you have some personal desire. Lord Krishna, you please fulfill this desire. All right. So in this category, there are 4 types of people last time we mentioned. Who are those? Sangeeta knows. Everybody should take part. Don't fear that I'm wrong or, like that. We can correct, and that's how you can learn. This whole idea, it should be interactive. All right. If I speak, I will fall asleep. So speak and keep alive like that. So,
Nasu, Artharthi, and Arto.
Yes, very good. Arto, Artharthi, Gnani, Jignasu. These 4 types of people. They are Sukrutino. Sukrutino means they have done good work. They prescribed duties plus pious activities. All right. So Sukrutino, they are like that. And they go to Lord Krishna. Like we also, initially we went to go to Lord Krishna. Oh, Lord Krishna, take care that I pass my exams. Like that, we used to pray like that. But then becomes Niskam. As we mature from Sakam, we become Niskam. All right. We understand that Lord Krishna is universal father of everyone. Right? He is my eternal father. I don't have to ask so many things to him. He already knows. Right? Vedaham samtitani. He says, I know everybody's past, present, future. He says like that. So he knows your needs. Right? But now you start working for him without any expectation. Right? That is known as what? Niskam Karma Yoga. That is the one you and me should. In this world, there is no one who works without some expectation. Do you go to work and say, oh, I have come to work. I don't want any salary. Nobody works like that. Even those people will say, this is a crazy man, let him go away. So this is what we should develop, that, I need to serve Lord Krishna without any expectation. That's where you become very dear to him. Others are also magnanimous souls, those 4 types of people. But Lord Krishna says, this one is myself, just like the Gnani. The Gnani out of those 4 now transcends into Niskam. All right? And that's how we can become very dear to Lord Krishna. Can you give me one example of Niskam karma yoga? What is niskam karma yoga?
When you do bhakti and prayers, you don't ask anything. You just tell them that I done so wrong so far, but now I'm going to do a good job.
Right. And Lord Krishna, at the end of Bhagavad Gita, he says, this niskam karma yogi is the most dear person to me, and nobody is above, more dear than to me than him. What is that karma, niskam karma he is doing?
Say others about Lord Krishna.
He
Preach.
preaches the gospel of Bhagavad Gita. He goes and preaches. He doesn't expect that, I'll get some money out of preaching, or I'll make some profit. I become famous. I think some, pratishta. No, he's not after these things. He has understood. What has he understood about these material goals? They are all temporary, useless actually. They have nothing to do with your Atma. If you become very famous, all right, there are so many famous people. After they have died, nobody knows them. People forget because everybody is interested in himself only. All right? Nobody is interested in others. Bhagavan Krishna wants you to give others, go and tell them message and give them the spiritual knowledge. This is what he wants. And he says, there is no one more dear than you. So it's very easy for you and me to become dear to Lord Krishna. How? Today you learn something, what is your karma yoga? You go and tell someone. All right? That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says what?
Yare dekhta Krishna Upadesh.
Yare dekhta Krishna Upadesh. Anyone XYZ you meet, tell him about Lord Krishna, tell him about Bhagavad Gita. So when will you be able to do that? When you develop some love for Lord Krishna, when you have read Bhagavad Gita, when you have chanted, when you have done puja, and when you have done all this, then automatically any topic which is going on, Lord Krishna from inside will inspire you to speak. All right. One day I was sitting with a lot of doctors in Nairobi. We were sitting and they were all drinking alcohol. Right? And then then I started putting some Bhagavad Gita sloka. So they were a little bit tipsy and they are talking about Bhagavad Gita. So somehow or other, make them come in touch with Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad, like that. That little portion of touch will fructify. All right? And then eventually they will be liberated in few births like that. So this is the service you and me should do. And then you will ask, I don't know Bhagavad Gita, how can I do that? So what's the answer?
Just say Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Bas, that's what it is. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam Kevalam. In this Kali Yuga, our life is very short. All right? Our buddhi, intelligence is also very, and on top of that, we are always in problems. Prayan alpa ayusa sabya kala vasmin yuge jana. In this yuga, in this Kali Yuga, our life is very short. On top of that, our manda sumanda matiyo, our buddhi is very mand, laziness. Right? So all these factors, if you do little service about Lord Krishna, it brings you very big spiritual benefits. All right. So this brings us to the next chapter, which is 4th chapter. What is the title for 4th chapter?
Transcendental knowledge.
Transcendental knowledge. Very good. Now, everybody has Bhagavad Gita with you, or you do not have? Who has Bhagavad Gita with you?
We have.
We all
You
have.
have?
Everybody is. Yeah.
Very good. So open the 3rd chapter and the 30th sloka, 30.
Okay.
Everybody got it?
Yes.
Okay. So I will sing and you can sing after me. Okay. Mayi sarvani karmani. Bolo.
Mayi
sarvani
sarvani
karmani
Sanyasya adhyatma chetasa.
Sanyasya
adhyatma
chetasa
Nirasir nirmamo bhutva
Nirmamo bhutva
yudhyasva vigata jvara.
Yudhasva
Very good, very good, very good. Just by singing this slok, which is spoken by who? Who has spoken this slok?
Bhagavan Shri Krishna.
Bhagavan Shri Krishna. All right. So Bhagavan Krishna speaking his word is also Bhagavan Krishna. So by just singing this slok, you are in touch with Lord Krishna. So this slok, singing itself is Bhagavan Krishna. Just like drinking water, the taste which you experience, quenching your thirst, is Bhagavan Krishna. It's also said in Bhagavad Gita like that. So this is very important to sing slow, right? To understand some Sanskrit. That's why Prabhupada Maharaj has given some the English. If you do not know how to sing Sanskrit, he's given in English also. Mayi Sarvani Karmani, like that. All right. So in this sloka, Bhagavan Krishna tells Arjun, that therefore, O Arjun, surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge of me, without desire for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, you fight. All right. So you see, everything which I spoke now is in this slok, right? I said one should do niskam karma without any of these things like proprietorship or personal profit and all that, right? So here says surrender all your works. So you whatever work you are doing, surrender means you be involved Lord Krishna in that. 9th chapter also Bhagavan will repeat the same message. Yat karosi, yad asnasi, yad juhosi, yad dadasi, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. So yat karosi, whatever you do, yad asnasi, whatever you eat. So all these activities which we do, tapasyasi, everything, you involve me. That's what he wants, right? And here he says, without material profit, material motive. That's called niskam. Only for the sake of Lord Krishna's mission. What is Lord Krishna's mission in this world?
To take us back.
To reclaim all his children who have become lost in this material illusion. He wants them to back to him, just like a father wants his son back if he has left the house and is wandering in poverty and like that. We are all in poverty, extreme poverty. What is that poverty? Death, old age, disease. Lord Krishna said, don't suffer from all this. Come back to me and you'll have a... Okay, so this slok is a connecting slok to the 4th chapter. What is that connection in this translation? Which word is connecting? He says, therefore, Arjun.
Surrender to me.
Yeah, he says, all surrendering all to me. With what? With full knowledge.
Knowledge of me.
All right, so that knowledge is the 4th chapter. All right, so that's the connection here. This slok is very key slok actually. This 3.30. Why? Can you read the translation of the purport there, Aruni Ben? The purport.
So this verse clearly indicates the purpose of Bhagavad Gita.
Yes,
the Lord
this is the
that
sentence. All right, this is the sentence you should underline. What is that? Purpose of Bhagavad Gita. All right, so that's why this slok is very important. Okay, read it ahead.
The Lord instructs that one has to become fully conscious to discharge duties. Such an injunction may make things a little with dependence on Krishna, because that is the constitutional position of the living entity. The living entity cannot be happy independent of the cooperation of the Supreme Lord, because the eternal constitutional position of the living entity is to become subordinate to the desires of the Lord. Arjun was therefore ordered by Sri Krishna to fight as if the Lord were his military commander. One has to sacrifice everything for the goodwill of the Supreme Lord and at the same time discharge prescribed duties without claiming proprietorship. Arjun did not have to consider the order of the Lord, he had only to execute his order. The Supreme Lord is the soul of all souls. Therefore, one who depends solely and wholly on the Supreme Soul without personal consideration, or in other words, one who is fully Krishna conscious, is called Adhyatma Chetas. Nirashiha means that one has to act on the order of the master, but should not expect fruitive results. The cashier may count millions of dollars for his employer, but he does not claim a cent for himself. Similarly, one has to realize that nothing in the world belongs to any individual person, but that everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. That is the real purport of Mai, or unto me. And when one acts in such Krishna consciousness, certainly he does not claim proprietorship over anything. This consciousness is called nirmama, or nothing is mine. And if there is any reluctance to execute such a stern order, which is without consideration of so-called kinsmen in the bodily relationship, that reluctance should be thrown off. In this way, one may become Vigata Jwara, or without feverish mentality of or lethargy. Everyone, according to his quality and position, has a particular type of work to discharge, and all such duties may be discharged in Krishna consciousness as described above. That will lead one to the path of liberation. Haribol.
Very good. Thank you very much. This is nice purport Prabhupada has. So as you read this purport, put yourself in this. Why am I doing this? What is my position? All these things you should go parallel. And then Lord Krishna in your heart will guide you. All right. That tomorrow morning, whatever work you will be doing with Lord Krishna's surrender to Lord Krishna and understanding all this transcendental knowledge. Okay, so this is the slok which takes us to transcendental knowledge. Bhagavan Krishna says that know about me, then all activities you will be able to fill me in that. All right. And if you do not know about Lord Krishna, how will you be able to do that? All right. So that's why you should be able to know Lord Krishna, and this is known as transcendental knowledge. What's the meaning of transcendental? What is the meaning of that word?
Highest.
Eh?
Highest knowledge above everything else.
Yes, very good. We're topmost knowledge. So knowledge are of two types. One is knowledge which is material knowledge. All right. We know what is water made up of, H2O, hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. This is material knowledge. And there is opposite of is transcendental knowledge. So the knowledge, material knowledge, which you and me gather with the senses, all right, that knowledge is called material knowledge. And the transcendental knowledge is above the reach of the senses. You cannot perceive it with man's senses. For example, the spirit soul. Okay, when someone dies, do you see the spirit soul going? Can you see that spirit soul going? No.
No.
Spirit, you cannot see the spirit with your eyes. Similarly, Bhagavan Krishna is complete spirit. That's why you cannot see him with your eyes. Atashti Krishna namadina bhavet grahyam indriya. With these blunt senses, you cannot. That's why everything about Lord Krishna is beyond your material senses. So how will you know him now then? How will you know something which you cannot understand by your eyes, by your...
Sevan mukhe hi jivado, swayam eva surat pada. By Bhagwan's name.
Bhagavan Krishna himself reveals the knowledge about himself, that I am like this. All right. Then you have to accept it. Then you will be able to progress. All right. So he gives this knowledge in this chapter, which is called transcendental knowledge. Okay. So let me read here. It says, as mentioned in the text number 30 of chapter number 3, to perform the highest level of karma yoga, surrendering all works to Lord Krishna, one must know who Krishna is. All right. The 4th chapter gives that knowledge. All right. So this is the connecting between the, actually chapter 3 and 4 is one only. All right. This is just an extension of chapter 3 because of that 30th number slope, that you should know all activities you can dovetail in service of Lord Krishna, now with knowledge of Lord Krishna. Who is Lord Krishna? Like that. So that is what this chapter is about. Okay. The main theme about this chapter is that Lord Krishna is the absolute truth, supreme personality of Godhead, who comes to this material world to do what? To protect the eternal Sanatan Dharma. This thing we must understand. I'll repeat. Okay. Lord Krishna is absolute truth, supreme personality of Godhead. All right. And why does he come? He comes here to protect the eternal Sanatan Dharma. All right. If you know this sentence, all right, and understand it, you are on path for liberation. Your first step you have taken. So that's why I want you, all of you, to repeat this one by one, this sentence. Everybody's written or not yet?
Krishna is absolute truth. Supreme personality of Godhead. He comes here to protect eternal Sanatan Dharma.
The Sanatan Dharma.
Yeah, okay. So, Padma Ben, can you speak that sentence? Unmute.
Lord Shri Krishna is the absolute truth. He comes here to protect the eternal, Sanatan Dharma. Comes to protect the Sanatan Dharma.
Right.
And to, third one I didn't try.
No, you missed one point. What was that?
Oh, this was the third one.
Supreme personality of God.
Eternal Sanatan Dharma.
Right.
He is the supreme.
So understand this. First is Lord Krishna is the absolute truth. Okay, that's number one. But that absolute truth is not Nirakar. It is a person. And that is known as Supreme Personality of God. So these two words are very important. What is that? Absolute truth, which is a person, a supreme person actually, not ordinary person. So these two things are very important to understand. What is that? The Lord Krishna is the absolute truth, right? And he is a person, right? So supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna is the absolute truth, supreme personality of Godhead. And why does he come? He comes to this material world to protect the Sanatan eternal Dharma.
Sanatan internal
Dharma. All right. So if you and me, okay, now Aruni Ben, you speak.
Yeah. So Lord Krishna is the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead, and he comes to protect eternal Sanatan Dharma.
Very good. This is one. Okay. Kumud Ben, you can speak.
Lord Krishna is absolute truth. He and his supreme personality of Godhead, and he comes to protect us, Sanatan, eternal Sanatan Dharma.
Very good. Bharti ji, you can speak.
Lord Krishna is the absolute truth, absolute supreme truth,
supreme personality.
Supreme personality. He's a person. He's someone actual person. And the third one, I don't know.
He comes here to protect eternal Sanatan Dharma.
Sanatan Dharma. He comes to protect eternal Sanatan Dharma.
Very good. Kiranji, can you speak?
Yes. Lord Krishna is the absolute truth. He's a supreme personality of Godhead. And he comes to the world to protect the eternal Sanatan Dharma.
Very good, very good. And Sangeeta Ben?
Yes. Lord Krishna is absolute truth. He is a supreme personality of Godhead, and he is here to protect Sanatan eternal dharma.
Very good, very good. So today night, when you go to sleep and when you wake up tomorrow morning, remember this sentence. Why I'm emphasizing all this so much is for one reason. What is that one reason? Who knows?
That completes our knowledge.
This leads you to the first step towards what? First step towards liberation. If you understood this and know it by heart, you are on the right track to get out of birth and death. This is known as transcendental knowledge. All right? It makes you purified to take you out of birth and death, which nobody can take you. No medicine can take you. So this is why this fundamental principle you have to know, repeat, and accept. All right? That's why Lord Krishna is absolute truth. What is the meaning of absolute truth? Unmute.
No
100%.
relativity.
And there's no relativity. All right? You and me, we are relative truth. All right? Relative truth means if you have to say that I'm a father, how can you define father?
Son has to be there.
There should be a son or a daughter. Then only you can say I am father. Otherwise, the word father has no meaning. Can somebody say that I am father and he has no children? Can somebody say like that? No, because it's a relative truth. So the whole material world is actually relative truth. The absolute truth is spiritual sky. Then one thing does not depend on another. Everything is alive. There is no body there, material body. Everything is spirit soul. That's why it's called absolute. There is no relativity there. Right? Here there is happiness, unhappiness. All right? Here there is youth, there is old age. Right? So here there is a day, there is night. All this relativity is not there. This world is not dvandva. Dvandva means duality. There is no duality there. Here there is body and spirit, two things. There is only spirit. The whole body is spirit itself. So all these things are, that's why Bhagavan Krishna is not absolute truth. There is no relative truth about him. All right? He does not depend on somebody else to say that he is God. Like that. So that's the meaning of absolute truth. And he is a person. He is not Nirakar. He is not Nirakar Brahma. He is a person exactly like you and me. Manusim Tanumasritam. He just looks like a person with two hands. But his two hands are not like our two hands. They are unlimited. They are spiritual. All right? He can manifest thousands and thousands of hands from these two hands, just like he showed to Arjuna in 11th chapter. So this is why these three things you must understand and accept it. Then you are on your way to Bhagavad Gita. You may know, you may not know. All right? But if you know some fundamentals, that is because Bhagavad Gita, nobody knows in truth completely unless Lord Krishna reveals to him. But if you try, he will help. And if you understand very little, just like a drop of Ganges water, then you become eligible to go and stay with him. So this is the one thing. Bhagavan Krishna is absolute truth. He is a person, but he's supreme person. All right? And there is nobody above him. And then why does he come here? He comes here to deliver you and me by giving the Sanatan Dharma. So everybody is clear about this?
Yes.
Very good, very good.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So this is the main theme in this section of first 10 slokas. All right. We'll discuss little like that, and then we will go in little detail. Now from slok 11 to 15, all right, Krishna elaborates on how he is the ultimate goal of knowledge, continuing to explain his supreme position. In these 6 slokas, the main theme is that actions are transcendental when executed in full knowledge that Krishna is the supreme goal of all paths and the awarder of the results of all work. So I understand this sentence also carefully. That actions, whatever activities we do, they are transcendental. They become transcendental. When? When do they become transcendental?
When
Useful
Krishna
for
is
Krishna.
when Krishna is involved. All right. So actions become transcendental when they are executed in full knowledge. What is that full knowledge? That Lord Krishna is the supreme goal in studying Bhagavad Gita. All right. And he is the ultimate authority who will give all the results of all the work. All right. So he is the one who has enacted this law of karma. All right. So law of karma acts on all of us. It doesn't work on him. He is the one who made it. That's why he can promise that I can relieve all your sinful reactions. Because he has the power. So this is the second thing which you should remember, that all the activities we do, we should know that Lord Krishna is actually the enjoyer of all my activities. All right. So this number 2 you should know. What is that? What is that, Padma?
He is the enjoyer of all my activity.
All my activity. And
I am
all
the
my
servant.
activities should be for pleasing
Dovetailed
him.
in his.
Why? Because he is the final boss, the final goal. And he is the maker of a law of karma. All right. So this is the second thing we should remember. All right. Then from 16 to 24th, there is a next section which says, after explaining his own transcendental position, the Lord describes how to perform activities on the transcendental plane. All right. So you and me, we are doing activities, we are doing on material plane. What is the meaning when we are doing activity on material plane?
We are not involving Krishna.
Yeah, and whom you are involving?
Yourself and this material world.
Everybody works for self-interest. That's why it's material. All right. That is what Lord Krishna wants you to understand. That it is necessary to explain this because of the common misconception that all work is material and spiritual life is limited only to sannyasis. So all of us, we think that, only sannyasis are free of material work. No, we all can become free of material work. And what is that? How you can do is explain. This misconception is brought about because practically all work in the world is limited by selfish desire. All right. So now you understand that material activity means selfish desire. If I work overtime, I'll get 1.5 times my if they say, no, you will not get, will you do that? No. You need selfish desire to get more money like that. That's how the whole material world works on this. Everybody has material desire. Then all these people, they do not know their self-interest. Prahlad Maharaj says, Nate vidu swarth gatim hi Vishnu. Nobody knows that my real self-interest is Bhuvan Krishna, Bhagavan Vishnu. Nobody knows that. Nate vidu swarth gatim hi Vishnu. Durasayaya bahirarthmani. They always think in terms of my body, my money, my wife, my children, my house, my property. We all think like that. That's why this is all material. It binds you. Then how is it transcendental? He's explaining. All right. So practically all work in this material initiated by selfish desire, which brings the karmic bondage. All right. By introducing Bhakti Yoga, Krishna delineates a method of action free from selfishness. That is niskam karma. Acting in Bhakti Yoga, one remains uninfluenced by karmic reaction. So this is how we have to understand all activities we are doing. For example, I am doing this activity right now. You are also doing this activity. What activity you are doing right now? Yeah, you are hearing. Are you hearing some news about Joe Biden or Ukraine? Are you hearing those kind of news right now?
No, we're listening to you.
Yeah, you're listening Krishna Katha.
Krishna Katha.
Right? So hearing those mundane things will bind you. Hearing this one will liberate you. All right? So this is one example. All right? So in this section, acting in pure devotional service is known as akarma, free from reactions. This is because karmic reaction is a result of fruitive consciousness and not the activity itself. All right? Activity remains the same. All right? But the consciousness with which you do that activity matters. All right? Just like you are hearing some songs, filmy songs. All right? What we are doing? Hearing, right? And at the same, and another time you are hearing Bhagavad Gita slokas, just now you sang that sloka. So what is the difference? The hearing is in both the process. One is material, one is spiritual. One is karma, one is akarma. So everybody is clear about this concept?
Yes.
What is karma? What is akarma? Karma remains the same, all right? The same activity remains, but now your consciousness is dovetailed with Lord Krishna. All right. So that is how that activity will become a karma. All right. And how can you do that practically? In all activities, can you do like that? Is it possible?
Yes.
Yeah, it's possible by practice. And the easiest way of doing this is just speak the holy name, the mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Bas. Yeah? You are driving, all right? For years now, I never drive without chanting. Yeah? I have one hand, I have mala, and I drive. For years now, I'm driving like that. So that driving becomes transcendental. All right? You're going to job, you're coming from job, you're going to stores to buy things like that. Why are you wasting that time? You can chant and drive.
So Guruji, can't we chant without the mala while driving, just in our mind?
Anyway, if you have mala, that is my practice, but I'm saying that you can do that even without mala.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's how you should do.
That's how I do it too.
Very good. And if that is not, convenient, you can hear Krishna Katha from your, car, whatever you can hear Krishna Katha. For years I heard, what is his name? Gaur Krishna Das Goswami's lectures. He has spoken the whole 18,000 slokas, very nice Hindi lectures, which is there on ISKCON Desire Tree. For years, I've got an iPod, and there's each slok he goes, each slok, and major all these important slokas. So you can hear, and I have heard it so many times. So that's how you should be interested in hearing Bhagavad Katha and everything. Slowly, you will be immersed. That is the success in life. Right? So what I'm saying is, do all your material activities. There is no problem about it. In fact, Bhagavan Krishna says that without doing these activities, you cannot survive. You have to work. And the Atma's spiritual nature is that it remains very active. Without Atma, the body doesn't work. So Atma itself is very active. So it cannot be dormant like that. So that's why do all your activities. But what you need to do, bring Lord Krishna in your mind when you are working like that. Even passively. Passively means just like chanting. You are concentrating on the traffic, on the the changing scenario on the road. You are very much aware. You are looking in the mirrors and find out traffic, how is going on. It is going on. But at the same time, you are speaking Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, like that. Or hearing Krishna Katha. So make these kind of things priority in your life. All right. This is how you can Krishnaize your life. And that is the success. Why it is success? Because antakale chamameva smaran muktva kalevaram. While end time will come anytime. But if you are in touch with Lord Krishna, he says, Yapayati madbhavam. He will come back to me. So start practicing, start preparing. Abhyas yogena yuktena. That's how this human life is meant for this purpose only. Right? Whenever you come to realize. And when you come to realize, what should you do next? Go and preach. Tell others. Start from your family, all right? And then friend circle, then greater circle, like that. Krishna will help you. Like that. So this is the main theme of this section up to 24th sloka. Then from 25 to 33, having explained that sacrifice uncovers Brahma, Krishna now lists different types of sacrifices. There are
The
different.
fourth chapter, Pankaj Bhai?
Yeah, fourth chapter.
Okay.
In the section from 25 to 33. We have no time to cover all the slokas and everything. That's why I'm just giving you the skeleton and kind of some ideas, all right? And it's not that you need to, grasp the whole thing. No, little will help you so much. Just like I gave you that sentence. Okay, so here in this main thing is, there are different types of sacrifices prescribed according to one's level of realization, which elevates the consciousness towards transcendental knowledge. So what is the meaning of sacrifice?
Give up
Give up
something.
what you really like.
Yeah, that's called sacrifice. All right, something which you give up voluntarily, all right, which you do not want in other circumstances, but you say, okay, let me give. For example, charity. Sometimes you see some people are so poor and no food, nothing, clothing, like say, no, let me sacrifice. Let me give this much money to them, like that. All right? So this sacrifice. Everybody does sacrifice in this life. Let things go. Even if it is, in self-interest, you give it to others, like that. So see, sacrifice. So sacrifice are different types of different levels. Right? So what is the highest sacrifice? What is known as sacrifice in Sanskrit?
Yagna.
Yagna. All right. And yagna is another name of
Vishnu.
Vishnu. All right. So by doing some sacrifice, you please Lord Vishnu. All right. Yagnarthat karmano. If you do some sacrifice and involve Lord Vishnu there, then you have done the perfect sacrifice. Other sacrifices, what is the result without Lord Krishna's?
It's binding us.
Is going to produce very nice fruit for you. It will take you to Swargloka. Is that the best thing or not? To go to Swargloka?
Because
Why?
we have to come again. Shine punya martya lokam vishnu.
Because the result will finish, you will come back here. All right? Again, the same story. So those people who do a lot of philanthropy, they will be raised to a very high standard of living in Swargloka. But up to when? When that fruit's time is over, you back to where you were, sir. So that's why those who are intelligent, they will do one type of yagna, which will not bind them, which will take not take them to Swargloka, but then take to Lord Krishna's planet. What is that dharma? What is that yagna?
That yagna in Kali Yuga.
Kali Yuga. What is that?
Sankirtan yagna. Yeah.
It's called Sankirtan yagna. All right. Sankirtan yagna means you 2-3 people in your family stand in front of Lord Krishna, put ghee lamp, and then start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, like that. All right. Sing 2, 3, 4 times, whatever, just like we sang at the start of this session. Sing like that. This is perfect Yuga Dharma, perfect sacrifice for this age of Kali in which we are living very short life. Perfect. And
But
it's
this is not even sacrifice, Guruji.
It's called Sankirtan Yagna.
Yeah.
Guruji, is that higher than charity and philanthropy?
You can give, but
no, is it higher than? That's what she's asking.
Yeah, it will be higher than that. Very high, actually. Philanthropy and all this, they bind you and give you the result, which are also temporary. But the same philanthropy and as sacrifice to Lord Krishna. If you involve Lord Krishna in that, then also they become purified, spiritualized, like that. Okay. So this is how we have to do all our activities. Bring Lord Krishna in all activities, but don't do vikarma. But this is a simple understanding of this knowledge. Okay.
But Guruji, this is happiness. This is not sacrifice.
Which is happiness?
When you're doing Sankirtan then you enjoy it. You're speaking about God to God. It's not sacrifice.
It is sacrifice because you sacrificed talking of material things. Instead of that, you are doing this.
Right.
All right. You, instead of singing filmy song, you are singing Krishna's name.
But we enjoy it.
We enjoy that because
Yeah.
all spiritual thing is enjoyable. That's why it's his inbuilt nature of giving you pleasure, right?
But Aruniti, in the beginning, you sacrifice all your material thing. We leave the parties and stuff, for this spiritual things. So it is sacrifice in that way.
But on top of all, Lord Krishna, I mean, the Karbhajan Muni who is preaching in Nimi's Darbar, he is calling it yagna. Right? So that's why we have to accept what higher authorities are calling it as yagna. Yagna is actually sacrifice, but sacrifice to do what? To please Lord Krishna. So anything which pleases Lord Krishna is also sacrifice. Right? Yagna. Okay, so that brings us to the final section from slok number 34 to 42. Okay. Now in this section, it says Krishna delineated many different sacrifices. One must take shelter of a spiritual master to understand which sacrifice is appropriate for one's unique situation. Through proper inquiry and devotional service to the spiritual master, one becomes a suitable candidate for knowledge of Krishna, knowledge which frees one from material bondage. And what is that? Transcendental knowledge and its resultant liberation is only possible by faithful, sincere inquiry and service at the feet of the spiritual master. So the final conclusion of getting this knowledge is what? Is that you must have a spiritual master. All right. Now, this opens up a lot of questions. Spiritual master. What are the main things about spiritual master? If you talk to some person and say you should have spiritual master, what will he say? He says there are so many bogus spiritual masters.
Prabhupada.
So many are, apart from Prabhupada, there are so many who are interested in what?
Puja Pratishtha Labh.
They are interested in material motives. Only a bona fide pure spiritual master is interested in your spirit soul getting out of birth and death. That is a spiritual master. Right? It's called bona fide spiritual. And that bona fide spiritual, what are the characteristics? He has his guru. And his guru is also his guru. And his guru's guru is also guru. Ultimately who? Bhagavan Krishna. Bas. This is known as disciplic succession. Right? That's why the third slok in this fourth chapter is Evam parampara praptam imam rajarsayu viduhu sa kalena yogo nasta parantap. Right? So this chain of knowledge was coming like that. And after that, it was broken. So Lord Krishna is giving that again to Arjuna. Starts like that. So this is the chapter like that. But you can read the slokas, especially the translations. Then you can connect with whatever we have discussed today like that. Okay, very good. Any question or anything? Any comment? So the best way of understanding these chapters is that you go through the chapters slokas, like, the translation and other things before coming to class. Like say, we'll discuss the 5th chapter tomorrow. So go through that. So then you'll be able to grasp this. To go through all the slokas and all that, it will take a lot of time. So, you cannot cover that in 1 hour. But basic things you have understood, this puts you in right mental frame to understand Bhagavad Gita on your own. You have to do the study like that. This is just like introducing you to the concepts like that. But all of you, except the Matajis from Los Angeles, we all have done this before also, so you can understand like that. Very good. Any question? comment? Should ask Ajit Bhai and others to join,
Yeah, I'll tell him again.
Yeah.
I'll push him. Pankaj bhai, I loved this. ये जो third था ना, he comes here to protect the eternal Sanatan Dharma.
Yes.
So ये हम तो, because we are talking in Sanskrit here, but he never anywhere we hear, okay, Hindu Dharma. हिंदू धर्म की तो कोई बात ही नहीं है. It's about humanity, about humanity. कौन सा हमारा eternal dharma humanity का क्या है? For example, truthfulness is part of that. So वो किसी ऐसे नहीं कि there's a Muslim or there's a Christian or there's a Buddhist, उसका eternal dharma different है than ours. His eternal dharma is the same.
Right.
So when we are talking to somebody, we can bring that point up, that what is an eternal dharma? सबका same dharma है. Eternal dharma जो है, everybody's eternal dharma is the same.
Why is it like that? Why
Because
is it
Because we are
Why?
all
Because
his children.
Because we all are spirit soul.
souls. We are not this
He is
body.
part and partial.
We are not these bodies. We are not Indians. We are not Americans. We are not men. We are not women. We are all spirit souls. This is why that is an eternal ID. And that eternal entity has its inbuilt nature. What is that? To render service to Lord Krishna. This is called Sanatana Dharma. Jivera Swarup hai, Krishnera Nityada. So that's why what you are saying is correct. All these so-called dharmas and Hindu religion, this religion, that religion, they're pertaining to body. Right? But the spirit soul is part and parcel of Lord Krishna. It doesn't matter who is that, who is not that. Even animals. So that's a very good understanding. Very good. Very good. So everybody should try to attend those morning sessions if you can. You wake up early. It starts at 4:20, but I really enjoy it. It's so good. So many erudite scholars speak so much high philosophy,
So where do we join those?
Oh, you don't have that? I sent it on our platform, the link. I had sent that link.
Yeah.
It's called
Naam Japa Varu?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, I'll look it up. Thank you.
Yeah, it's there in our Haribo.
So we can
Bhakti Sangha.
Yeah. Pankaj bhai, I was thinking, what if we do like an hour with them, and then on our own, whatever we are doing of the japa, so that will prompt us to do more of it.
So what you are suggesting?
That like in the morning, if we say get up at 4:20, it starts at 5 actually. It starts at 5 is what it says.
5 is Eastern time.
Yeah. No, now like how it says 4:20 Pacific time,
yes.
But it says japa starts at 5. So I got up much later, so it was still going on. And if we do whatever number of malas we can do, we can still increase it that way by joining them.
Right.
And then we do our own that we do, like I go walking and for an hour.
Right.
So it will help us by just joining them and doing maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever.
Yeah. And then if you're not able to join in live, then you can see it on YouTube. They put the same day on YouTube, so you can. So they are going to start from tomorrow. Ajamila Kyan. Today they finished the 5th canto, the last sloka. So tomorrow Ajamila Kyan is starting. So that's very interesting because we have done it.
So how long it is? For 4:20?
It usually takes 1 to 1.5 hours, depending on the speaker. When they told me to speak on the 38th sloka of 26th chapter, 5th canto, the other day we were doing this class and their phone came and they said, tomorrow morning you have to give. So I couldn't prepare much, but I spoke about 30 minutes or so and then open to discussion like that.
It was good, but you had so many other speakers, those Canada people and all.
Yeah, that's where they are. Oh, you saw that YouTube?
I saw that. Yeah, I saw your lecture too. Yeah. And you had a couple of other ladies also join too.
Yeah, there were so many of them like that. So this is why, if you cannot, it's not convenient to everybody. So you can see it on YouTube. But once in a while, when you have time, because live is very inducing. Like I was hearing this Maharaj today. He is in UK, and he said that somebody asked him that what is the best thing you yourself do about chanting, right? And he said, what is the best thing one should do to concentrate on chanting and improve his chanting and all that? So there's question. So he answered that, I'll tell you what I do, is what he said. He said, I wake up very early, whatever time I can wake up early. He's an old man. But first thing I do is finish 16 rounds. Nothing doing. Takes 1 hour and 1.5 hours, whatever, doesn't matter. But I finish that one, and that is my best part of my day, he says. He says, to start with, it wasn't, but now it is such a practice that, he feels so good about it. So I'm going to try myself to see. But I chant also when I do treadmill, right? So I'll not do all 16, but whatever I could do in the morning, like that. So these are some of the very personal experience of very exalted Vaishnavas. That's how you can benefit from there.
In Vrindavan, for the students, they say that they have to finish their mala 16 round in the morning. Yes. They don't have to live for whole day. First, they have to finish the 16.
Right. So those are how they are trained in Gurukul, Yeah. Wake up early in the morning, finish your rounds, this, that, and then do all your activities like that. But all these things, because we are in advanced age, we did not start early. But whatever we started, we can still make it more effective. So that will be good. Okay, so we'll meet tomorrow at 6 again. Read the 5th chapter, all the slokas, and then we'll be able to discuss like what we discussed today.
It is very nice, but it is very nice.
It's good. Yeah, we can feel good about it. All right, Jai Shri Krishna. Haribol.
Haribol, Jai Shri Krishna. Vaishnavebhyo namo namo.
Haribol. Krishna Arpanamasti.
Krishna Prasthaya.